when you get that summons at your doorstep or they put it in your hands, it'll make it seem like your world was just turned upside down, because now you have a court order for you to show up in court. And it can cause a lot of confusion. It can make people either get paralyzed. And when I say paralyzed, where they don't know what to do, they don't know what their next move is. And then when help comes to them, they go into this process of, will the help work, and what is the worst case scenario? And I understand that. So by the end of this video, you're going to know what you're going to need to do. And the reason why is because I'm going to just make it plain and simple so you will understand this exactly what you're facing if you have a debt collection lawsuit. If you have a debt collector who is suing you in court, this is absolutely what you are required to do and what you are facing. I answer these questions all the time, and I don't get upset with answering them all the time, because I understand the process that we as humans run through. I've been sued before. I've been sued multiple times, actually. And no matter what, it's always this feeling that you get when you get that document in your hand, because you understand, even if you don't understand it fully, you understand that the court is involved. We don't want no law enforcement. We don't want no court involved in none of our business. We want to just go through our lives without having these types of issues. But because of what we may have faced financially, downturns, budgeting, whatever it is, we can end up having a lawsuit from a debt collector or original creditor placed on our doorstep, placed in our hand. You've been served. Oh man, oh my, what do I need to do? Some people think, well, do I even have to go to court? Some people think, what do I need to do? And even if I do it, do I need to go to court? So let's start from the top. When you get served or attempted service, depending on what state you live in, they can attempt to serve you, and they'll just put a notice on your door. We couldn't serve you. They give that to the judge, and they say this was attempted service, or they try to hand it to you. You don't open the door, or you won't take it in your hand. They can't just leave it on the ground. They say attempted service. They had a process server sign an affidavit. We attempted to serve you. And depending on your state laws, they will either be able to proceed or they may not be able to proceed. So you need to get educated on that. In most instances, in most states, all they have to do is do attempted service, and they will attempt to put it in your hands or attempt to deliver it at your door, mail it to you, and then post your name online and in a newspaper. That's all they got to do. We used to get this all the time with my marketing advertising publication. We would get public notices of people who were getting sued. Once they did that, they were allowed to proceed in court. So on that, with that summons, this is what it is. And people will be like, well, it got all these numbers on there. Why did they even go through all of that to put that on there when they're just suing me for the money? Isn't it just about the money? Well, it is about the money, but they're also going to put all these allegations against you. Why do they take the time to put those allegations against you? Those 1, 2, 3, pull out your paper with your summons. I know you got it. You probably wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't have it. Pull it out. Look at those numbers on there. You see that it talks about where you live at. You see the ones that say you enriched yourself. You see the one that says they mailed periodic statements to you, monthly. You see the one that has the amount, and it says that you did not dispute anything about the amount. You see the ones that whatever it says on there, you see those, the 1, 2, 3, depending on the amount of the debt, it might be 1 through 10 or 1 through 20. It depends on the attorney, and it usually depends on how much they're trying to sue you for. the more they try to sue you for, the more they're going to put into it. Why do they do that? Because they want to put an impression to the judge that you unjustly enriched yourself and you took advantage of that company. Basically, bottom line, what they're trying to give the impression to the judge that you just took the money. If they could say you stole the money, they would say you stole the money, but they know that you entered into an agreement and you just didn't pay back the money. But they want to get the impression that you stole the money. That's why they'll use words like you unjustly enriched yourself. Look up the definition of unjustly, and you'll see the impression that they're trying to put about you to the court. So my question to you is, what do you think you need to do? Answer me that question. You received that document, regardless if you got it served to you in hand or not, they're proceeding with court. What do you think that you're required to do? Do you think that you have to show up? Do you think you don't have to show up? Well, I'm here to tell you that you do have to show up. But it's not just about showing up. A lot of people think all I got to do is show up and just say, well, they bought the debt, it's not mine, this and that. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. You're going to trap yourself if you do that. When you receive that summons, either in hand or whatever, if you know you're getting sued, you need to get that summons. And all of those points on there, those allegations, you need to answer every one of them. If you don't answer all of those, you could potentially lose just by technicality by not even answering those. And you need to next put together a defense to counter the allegations and a defense to win the case based on the documents that they presented and the lack of documents that they didn't present. It is not about trying to quote all of these laws and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's about plainly stating your defense against their case against you. That's what it's going to come down to. So now what usually people will say to me is they'll be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it, what to say. They're scared, intimidated, all of these things. And I understand that. But bottom line, you have to respond. Bottom line, you have to put forth for defense, or you're just going to go in there and get a judgment against you. If you don't show up, you're going to get a default judgment against you. When you either get a judgment or a default judgment, this is what that means. So let me define what a default judgment or judgment means for you if you get that. That means that they can garnish 25% of your wages per paycheck. So you can end up paying this debt off to them faster than you would have paid when you couldn't afford to do it with the original creditor. Plus the court costs, the fees, attorney fees, all of that stuff's going to be added on there. And interest will be continually added on there, depending on the state that you live in, upwards of 18%. So this could be a cycle of debt that's going to be very difficult for you to be able to get out of. So wouldn't it be beneficial for you to be able to put together a response to their allegations and a defense? I'm just asking you that question. Next thing, if you get a default judgment or a judgment, they're going to be able to garnish your bank account. Some people will be like, well, Steve, I live in Texas, North Carolina. They can't garnish our wages. So they can't. What they're going to do? What they're going to do is they're going to get rid of garnishment, and they're going to send a letter to every bank in your city. And whatever one, it's like fishing, and whatever one hooks with your name on it, account, savings, whatever you got up in there, they're going to hook it, and they're going to give that money directly to that debt collector. And if it's not enough money in there, guess what they're going to do? They're going to leave that active for upwards of 13 weeks. So they have 13 weeks of any money that you have put in there, they're just going to grab it right out of there. And you'd be like, well, Steve, I don't have, my bank account. I don't have no money anyway. But I got, my car is not even paid off, so they can't even touch my car. Well, guess what? This is what these debt collectors are doing. These debt collectors, just like people strategize to protect themselves, they strategize to figure out ways to get people's money. So say you got a vehicle and they can take that vehicle. That's you have two vehicles. They can't take your only vehicle, so don't worry about that. I don't want to worry you on something that they can't do. But if you got two vehicles and they say, well, we could just that vehicle, yeah, they got payments on it that it's not paid off. But what we can do is we could get it assessed. Maybe we call CarMax or Carvana or one of those companies and had them come appraise it. And if they want to buy it from us, and it's, they're going to buy it from us for more than what is owed on the car, we'll pay off the car with the money that they're going to give to us, or we'll just pay it off and then we'll sell it right to them. So they, it's going to be like a one transaction straight to another. They take the vehicle and they've gotten some of the money. So let's not allow them to have that type of leverage against you. If you want to avoid all of that stuff, if you want to avoid all of that and take your power back and get the leverage back on your side, at least get the scales of justice balanced in your, where it's like 50-50. If not, putting more balance in your favor by putting that debt collection attorney to make them have to do their work so they don't just walk all over and roll all over you, is you need to respond appropriately to that court summons. Don't run away from it. Run to it and put together a fight to potentially win your case or get leverage to have them come to you with hat in hand and say, hey, let's just work this out, and they give you a favorable settlement arrangement. That's what we want to help. That's what we want to help you get to. So now, if you want to get help with that, what I want you to do is I want you to go to summonsmaster.com, summonsmaster.com. You can simply upload your court summons, put it in a PDF file. If you don't know how to put it in a PDF file, get with us, go to Summons Master, email us through there. We'll help you put that together so you can upload it, because we want to make sure that you have the power in your hands to fight. Don't worry about how to say it, what to say, do you got to go to court and all that. We explain all of that to you. So don't worry about all of that. It's not a service that you're going to use and then we're just gone. We're going to be there for you because we know it's going to be a lot of anxiety. You're going to have a lot of questions. But once you have that summons put together, you're going to feel that you got your power back. You're going to have something, a document that's going to respond and give you the answers on saying it, how to say it, but you're just going to give it to the court and they're going to understand your side of the story. It's going to give you a defense to win your case. And in most instances, if you give it enough time, that's why I say don't procrastinate on this. If you give them a good week or so, some days to evaluate your response to their complaint, they might just dismiss the case. You don't even have to go to court. So go to summonsmaster.com. Go there right now. If you're being sued by a debt collector, being sued by the original creditor, go to summonsmaster.com. Get your summons response created. You need to get it created so you don't end up allowing them to garnish your wages, garnish your bank account, or take your assets or seize assets or put liens on assets. Thank you for your time. If you need help with your credit, visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my two-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, get your credit reports and scores. Everything starts there. Go to the website, your3scores.com. Links are below this video. If you have debt collectors coming after you, Summons Master has a section where you can upload your debt collection letter. It will create it. All you do is sign, date, send it certified mail. They'll stop. Or they're going to respond, and then you'll know what your next move should be. But it's going to put the leverage in your favor. Only costs $27 on Summons Master. If you do it yourself, you can have us do it for you. You can contact us, the Credit Repair Shop. There's a link on my website. We can do it for you if you're just too busy. Or if you don't have any money at all, I provide it to you for free. You're going to have to put in your information, mail it off yourself. Link is below this video. I do ask for donations on that one because it's going to save you time, money, and frustration. All of what I do saves you time, money, and frustration and gives you back a level of comfort and power in your life. That's the whole goal of what I do with all of the services that I provide. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com, creator of summonsmaster.com. Thank you.